What is up, my little nerd ballers and shot callers? It's your boy, High and Mighty, aka PGL Lavender. Here to do a little pack opening video for you guys. So, just real quick before I get to these packs, I know I've kind of been AFK for a little while. I went to Michigan to cast Gamers for Giving. Did that a little bit with Hot Form. I'll be uploading that video in the next few days. Also, if you guys want me to do a review on the new cards and the buffs and the nerfs and all that stuff, just go ahead and put that in the comments, and I'll do that for you guys. Also, too, pretty cool that you get 3 free packs and Cthulhu with the new Expo. So I think Cthulhu probably is a shitty card, especially since they gave it to everybody. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be good in the late game. So that being said, let's go into opening these packs. My webcam decided it wanted to be all red and angry today, so that is apparently what's going on with that. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it did actually took me a long time to log in today. So cool. All right, standard pack. So that's a garbage card. Someone to 1-1 ooze, that's bad. Okay, so we'll rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. That's probably like a 2. That's probably like a 2. And I would consider 3 like kind of playable. 4 is like very playable. That is also like a 2. That's maybe like a 2.5 or a 3. I guess that's probably like a 3. It could be. It could be. Also, too, with the Grand Tournament Expo, I actually rewatched some of the opening packs, and I did a wreck-ass job rating those cards. So I think this will be pretty accurate too. That's not very good. It's like a shitty Lights Justice, so I'd say like a 2. That's probably like a maybe like a 3.5. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Shatter seems pretty bad. Maybe like a 1.5. That's like a 1.5 or a 2. Let's see what we got here. We have a Thing from Below. Taunt. Cost 1 less for each totem you summon in this game. That's probably like a 3. So, moving on to our next pack. Rockin' and Rollin'. Yeah, that's probably like a 2. This is a great card if you don't have like shit for legends or good cards. Like this is a good card for your late game. You can throw that in there. Again, that's like a 2. Oh shit! The epic, the Ancient Harbinger. At the start of your turn, put a 10-cost minion from your deck on from your deck in your hand. So that's like a Cthulhu Caller. So I'm assuming that's pretty good in Cthulhu decks. But 10-cost minion, you won't really run it unless it is a Cthulhu, most likely. So I would say that this card's probably like a 3. Shadow Strike. That seems pretty strong. I would say like a 4. Some of the 2/2 slime. That's kind of like a Sludge Belcher, but like a shittier one. Does the slime have taunt? Is the question. I'm gonna say this is like a 3, maybe a 4, depending on if the slime has taunt. Its stat line is a little bit weak for 4 mana. It's like 5 points in flat stats. You really want to be like 8 or 9. Okay, 6 mana for a 5/7 taunt. Battlecry, give your Cthulhu, so this is for Cthulhu decks. If Cthulhu is good, this card is probably like a 4, maybe. Yeah, I think it's like a 4. It's relatively playable, I think. I'm gonna 1/3 Rusty Hook. This, I think, is probably just a piece of shit. Maybe a 2. It almost was good. That is like a 2. Discover minion, give it 1/1. That could be maybe like a 3. Disciple of Cthulhu, deal 2 damage, give your Cthulhu. It's 3 mana, 2/1. 3 mana for a 2/1 is absolutely fucking shit tier. That being said, its Battlecry is pretty good. In a Cthulhu deck, it's probably like a 4 in a Cthulhu deck, but outside of that, it's a 1. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh, don't lock up on me. Okay, Polluted Hoarder, I think that's like a 2. That card's pretty shit. That's like a 2. Give your Cthulhu 1/1. See, this is pretty good because you get 7 points in stats. instead of 6, and it has a bonus. So this is probably a pretty decent card for Cthulhu decks. I would say maybe it's like a 4, 4.5. Psychotron, I think that's pretty good, like maybe a 4. I could be wrong. 5 mana is a lot for a 3/4, but Taunt and Divine Shield has pretty good abilities. This I think is a bad card. It won't be put in aggro decks. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Maybe in like control decks it could actually be pretty good. So I'll say it's like a 3.5 probably, maybe a 4. It could be really good and I'm just not seeing it in a control deck where you just use it to clear and it doesn't matter that you're healing your enemy. But in like a mirror matchup it wouldn't be very good because you would use it in like lock and you would heal their life taps. This looks pretty good. No, just kidding. That's like a 2.5. Death Rattle do 1 damage to all minions. This is a great card. This is probably like a 4.5. I think this is actually a really good card. For 1 mana, you just get a lot. So it's Death Rattle is like an arcane blast, and you get a 1/1 creature out of it, so you can kill something with 2 health. It's a really good card. I think this is a really good card. Maybe the best. I think this is the best I've seen so far for sure. We'll open that epic last. Dark Shard Councilman. After you summon a minion, gain 1 attack. This card is shit. Maybe like a 2.5. Let's see what we got. Whenever you summon a 1 health minion, give Divine Shield. So 3 mana for a 3/3, passes the vanilla stat test, barely. This could actually be really dope when paired with Hobgoblin. So this might be really good, and we just don't know it yet. In like some weird Hobgoblin mid-range aggro weird bullshit. So maybe like a 3.5. And our epic is Scaled Nightmare. So I feel like this card is good, but it might not be. I'm gonna give this like a 3.5 or a 4. I think it could be playable. I don't think it's quite a 4. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. We'll go on to the next one. So it could be a really good card. I could see it being a very good card, but I'd have to play with it some. Grotesque Dragonhawk. No. Like a 2. I think that 7 mana for a 5/5 that's just never going to get to attack. It's pretty worthless. You could be playing Dr. Boom because he didn't get fucking nerfed. Cthulhu's Chosen Divine Shield. 4 mana for a 4/2 Divine Shield. Battlecry gave it. So this is probably, if Cthulhu's good, it's probably like a 4, maybe like a 3.5. This one's not very good. I don't really like the 2 health at all. Zealous Initiate. Death Rattle, that's probably not very good because it relies on you having another card. And like, what if, they played that last card, the Tentacle, and it killed another minion, or bumped into another minion with 2 health, right? And then the Death Rattle goes off and it kills the Initiate and the other thing that had 2 health at the same time. So this card probably is like a 2. It's probably pretty bad. Carrion Grub, 3 mana for a 2/5 Hunter. Lol, piece of trash. Fucking, that's a 1. It's just a shittier Oasis Snapjaw. It's pretty madness. 3 mana for 9 damage, randomly split among all characters. It could be good. I'm going to give it like a 3.5. I could see it being playable. Maybe a 4. I could see it being playable at the highest level. So, onward and onward. Okay, so Squirming Tentacle, that's a piece of crap. Maybe like a 2. She's going to give her attack 4 attacks or gain 8 armor. It's cool utility, but I don't think it's good enough. That's not as good as a Shade or Nax Ramus. I mean, Shades can't be played in Standard anymore, so maybe, I'm judging these cards on the what technically would be a wild format, but I don't care about all that bullshit. 1/5 for 3 mana. That 1 attack is not worth anything. It's no good. So that's like a 1 or a 2. This is like a 1. Yeah, or a 2. Choose one. Summon a 2/2 slime or gain an empty mana crystal. This card could be like a 4. I think this card's like a 4. Maybe even a 4.5. This seems really strong for. So if you summon the slime, you get 6 points in flat stats plus 4 more off this, so you get 10 points total for 4 mana. That seems pretty fucking strong. So I think Mire Keeper's good. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Okay. So 4 damage to a minion. Maybe like a 3. That's like a 1. That's, yeah. Chthon decks are good. That's like a 4. Death Rattle, do Battle Cry, do 1 damage to all of it. Well, that seems pretty decent. Maybe like a 3.5. It could be played in maybe some tempo-based decks. Evolve transfer minions into random minions that cost 1 more. That seems fucking broken. I'm gonna say that's like a 4. It could be like a straight 5 though. That seems pretty strong. It just depends, I guess, on what's going on. Give me that one first. Silithid Swarmer. Can only attack if your hero attacked this turn. Maybe pretty good in Rogue. Maybe Druid. I don't know. It could be like a meta card. I'm gonna give it like a 3.3. This could be pretty decent. Since the Patron nerf, maybe not so much. I think it's like a 3, but it could be like a 4. Could be playable. I don't think that's playable. Blue Porter. I also don't see that being playable. Let's take a look at our epic. Faceless Shambler Taunt. 1/1 for 4 mana. Terrible. Copy of minions' attack and health. So this is a Faceless Manipulator, but it doesn't gain any effects or activations. So that's probably not very good. Maybe like a 3. Onward and onward. Okay, we're going to get going fast here. That's garbage. It's like a 2 or a 1. Taunt, Enrage, plus 3 attack. That's probably like a 3.5 or a 4. Seems okay. So I'm going to 1/1 Shadow Beast. That's probably pretty good, especially in Zoo. I'm going to give it a 4. That's like a 2 or a 1. Forbidden Ritual. Summon that many 1/1 tentacles for Warlock. I think that could be pretty good. I would say like maybe... It's not quite as good as Implosion, so maybe 3. Yeah. That's pretty good for aggro decks. Maybe like a 3.5. That's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit. Thing from below, kind of shitty. I think that's really OP. I'm going to probably make an evolve deck, fuck with that a little bit. Shortly after this video, Bluefin Tiner, summon a 1/1 Ooze with Taunt, 2 mana for 2/1. Don't like it, maybe a 3. That's a fucking 2. That's like a 2. Bog Creepers, 7 mana, 6/8 Taunt. That's a lot, but for a Taunt with that amount of health, pretty good. I'll give it like a 3.5, maybe a 4. Undercity Huckster, a random class card near your opponent's class, Death Row. 2 mana for 2/2. Pretty good. 3.5, maybe 4. Might be playable. 4 is basically what's playable. So what I'm viewing as playable, not necessarily strong. Wow, holy fuck. That's like a 4. 2. Yeah, we already did that. This seems pretty shit, so I'm going to give it a 2. I don't think it has 4 mana for a 3/5. The Enrage is never going to last. It's going to kill something. It's going to have 2 or 3 or 1 health in the back end. It's going to get fucking ripped. So that's a piece of shit. Maybe a 1 or a 2. Transform a random friendly minion into one that costs 1 more. So I guess evolution decks are going to be a thing, and that's totally fucking cool. I think that this card's probably like a 4. Yeah, like a 4. 4 mana for a 4/5, and it's got a pretty positive battle cry, so it passes the vanilla test +1, and it's got a good battle cry. Cool. So 1 damage minion, summon a 2/2 slime. Don't like it. Maybe a 2, 2.5. Give your minions 1/1. I don't like it because your minions have to be alive for it to work, and that's never guaranteed in this game. That could be good. I don't know. 3.5 maybe at best. 2. I think this is really good for Zoo, so I'm going to give it a 4. Onward and onward. That's a 2. That's probably like a 3.5. Could be a 4, 4.5, and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. That's like a 1. Um, for each enemy minion, restore 2 health to your hero. I don't like that it costs 5 mana, so I'm gonna give it a 3. That card should cost 4 mana. And that's like a 3. I don't know, with evolution, this could be a really good card for 2 mana. Maybe give it like a 3.5. Ooh, Dark Aqua. Taunt, give you Cthulhu. Stats, not the best, but it's got taunt, so its health is bigger than its attack, so it's good. I'll give this card like a 4. This was a good. Look at this pack. It's our best pack yet. We still haven't pulled any legends. Battlecry, give your minions. Give 1/1 to your minions with Divine Shield. That's a 1. I think it is, at least. It's really hard to get a bunch of minions alive with Divine Shield to get a good value out of that. So it's at 2, I think, at best. 2 damage to all non-reliant minions. 6 mana for a 2/3. Get fucked. That's a 1. 4 mana for a 3/3. Summon 2 1/1 spiders. I don't like it. It's too slow for Hunter, I think, so I'll give it a 2. Next thing's next. Should I open my epic first? What a fail. Spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. For a priest, I think that's a pretty good card. I'll give it. All the forbidden cards, I think, are probably like 4s. They seem pretty strong. Yeah. Restore 5 health. That's pretty dope for 5 mana. I would give that probably like a 3.5, maybe a 4. Let's say like a 1 or a 2. We've already done that. Range. I think this is like a 3. Yeah, it's like probably like a 3. 1 damage to a random enemy. This is probably a pretty good card for Face Hunter, so I'll give it like a 3.5, maybe a 4 for Face Hunter. Give a minion 2/6. I think it costs too much for what you get. It's like a shittier, whatever that 3 mana card is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's probably like a 3. For each enemy, restore 2 health. Yeah, that's probably like a 3 as well, or 2. Evolution deck. This card could be really strong. I'll give it a 4 for now. I'm excited to try some evolution though. Darkshire Councilman, after you get a minion. Yeah, this thing's a piece of garbage. Like a 2. We got epics for days. I'm glad to get 2 of these tentacles, because I was definitely going to craft this just to experiment with it. I don't like this card. I'm going to go like a 2. Let's go to a Death Rattle card. This could be pretty good. And it's 1 mana for a spell, and you get a Death Rattle card out of it, so I think it could be good for Rogue. I'll give it like a 4. Dude, this Blue Eagle got 2 legendaries already, and he got Ragnarok's Lightborn, motherfucker. This card is interesting. Blood of the Ancient One. If you control these 2 of them, merge them into the Ancient One. The Ancient One is like, I don't know, like 30 fucking attack and 30 health or something insane like that, but it's not. Yeah, the Blood of the Ancient One is probably like a 3. That card is that shit. I think this card's like 4.5 or 5, maybe even. Tentacles of Mazoth for days. That's a piece of shit. That I think is pretty good for aggro. So like 3, 3.5. Weapons cost 2 less. Lol. No one's playing pirates still, so that card's like a 1.5 or a 2. I think it might not be though. I don't know. That card actually could be good. What's happening? I think we're bugged here. Okay, that's a 2. For each enemy minion, restore 2 health. Yeah, we did that one. Talked about that one. Give your Cthulhu 2/2. It's 8 mana for a 7/9. If it's dead, shuffle it into your deck. That? If Cthulhu's good, this card's probably like a 4. If it's not, this card's a 1. Same with this is like a 2. Onward and onward. It doesn't have charge, so it's fucking terrible. Because that 1 health will get clipped all day by shit. You're just a ping from a mage, 2 mana, you get wrecked on 5 points in stats. That card's a piece of shit. I'll give it a fucking 0.2. This card's good. We talked about it. It's a 4. I don't think that one's very good. Viclin has at least 10 attack, gain 5 health. So odds are this won't go off in the early game, most likely. So this card won't have like high value, like a 4.5, but it could be like a 3.5 or a 4. A lot of this just depends on how good Cthulhu is. Destroy all minions with 2 or less attack for 4 mana. This card is fucking disgusting. Fuck Priest. This card's like a 4.5, maybe a 5 even. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That just makes it so you don't have to have an Alkanai Circle anymore. You can just wait and do that bullshit turn 4 and clear basically everything. Swimming Tentacle shit. And that card's not very good. We talked about Doomcaller. Saw Sea Squid Face. That's an awesome name. Give your weapon +2 attack for your Death Rattle. I think this card's pretty decent. 4 mana for a 4/4. I'm gonna give this card like a 3.5, maybe a 4. I think this card's a 4. Give 1/1 for each of your totems. No, that card's shit too. Onward and onward. We're chugging along. Okay. We talked about that. Talked about that. Talked about that. Ooh, that epic though. Blade of Cthulhu. Destroy a minion, add its attack and health to Cthulhu. 9 mana for a 4/4 is absolutely fucking terrible. I just wouldn't play this card. I don't think like Turtle Cthulhu Rogue is gonna be a fucking thing. So this card's probably like a 1.5, maybe a 1. Could be really good, but I don't think so. Cast a random spell that costs 5 or less. Battlecry. Cast a random spell that costs 5 or less. Targets chosen randomly. This is a scary card. It could backfire pretty badly. Like you could fireball, or you could fireball yourself. So that's pretty bad. So I think this card's like a 3. It seems pretty YOLO. So, all right, onward, onward. Yeah, thing could be good. Maybe like a 3.5. We talked about that earlier, I think. Still no legends. It's making me sad. I don't think this is very good because I think it's too slow. But I'll give this like a 3.2. Demented Frost Color. After you cast a spell, freeze a random enemy. The stats are too weak on this card, I think. So I'm going to give this card like a 2.5. It would be better if you could freeze an enemy of your choice. That would make it like probably significantly stronger, but give him friendly minion Divine Shield. That's the Death Rattle. It can be avoided, but 1 mana 2/1, not bad. I think this card's like a 3.5, maybe a 4. Probably not a 4. That's probably fucking stretching it, right? Okay. Okay, now Feral Rage. Discover minion, give it 1/1. I think this is a pretty good card, maybe like a 3.5 or a 4. I think it's playable for. I'd give it a 4. Yeah, we've already seen this card. I'm just not copping any hotness right now, guys. Okay, there it is, our first legend. Hooray! Feral Rage is trash-ish. Swarming Tentacles is trash-ish. That's not very good. Vilefin Inquisitor, your hero power comes summon a 1/3 Murloc. If Paladin Murloc is a thing, this card's pretty good. If it's not, then it's not. So this card could be a 1 or it could be a 4. Alright, let's see what we got. Herald Village. Battlecry 7/1/1 copy. Oh, I've seen this. I think that on paper this card looks really good, but it actually kind of fucking sucks. I'm going to give it a 3, but I'm not sure. This card actually could be really good, and I'm just not seeing it. Again, it relies on you having minions on board for it to be worth a damn, and it does not pass the vanilla stat test, so I don't know about that card. I don't think it's very good. Garbage. 5 mana for 5/6. Whenever a friendly minion dies, give your Cthulhu 1/1. 5 mana for 5/6 is pretty good. I think this card's probably like a 4.3. Yeah, so I think this card's relatively playable. We talked about this. We talked about this. Shifting Shade. Death Rattle. Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. On Priest, you really want more health than attack, so I think this card's bad. I'll give it a 1.5. Could be good in Thief Priest, though. A lot of people play that Thief Priest garbage. I don't. The more I see these, the less I think they're good. But I'm not sure. They could be paired with a couple cards that would do a lot of work. Just a Twilight Flamecaller we talked about. Rallying Blade seems like a piece of shit. And this also seems kind of shitty. Maybe like a 2. Could be, in like a straight banana deck, that card could be pretty hot. But I'm not saying it. Man, these packs are fucking trash right now. That card's pretty bad. Yeah, this card's health is bad, so it makes it bad. This card's amazing. I think it's amazing, actually. I think this card's good. I think this card's not amazing, but it seems pretty strong. I think a lot of people will be playing this card. Actually, I think this card's like, if Cthulhu is good, this card's like a 5. That's if Cthulhu is good. Another pretty fucking garbage pack. Southsea Squidface we talked about. Dustboard is probably the worst card I've seen yet. I think this card is pretty strong. I think I said earlier like a 4, something like that. Corrupted Healbot we've talked about. Disciple of Cthulhu, deal 2 damage, give you Cthulhu 2/2. I think this card's pretty good in Cthulhu decks, so I'll give it like a 4. I think Cthulhu decks could be pretty strong. I'm excited to try them out. On the Hunt, a little too slow. We talked about Usher of Souls. We talked about Divine Strength. Undercity Huckster we talked about. Faceless Behemoth we talked about. Come on. Okay. What's going on here? There we go. Sasuke Squidface, pretty bad. Twisted Organs, pretty decent. Basically just looking for new cards. Okay, Midnight Drake's a new card. Battle card gain 1 attack for each other card in your hand. So it's like a reverse Twilight Drake. 4 health is kind of weaker, but I think that this card is pretty good. I'll give it like a 4 for right now because I see it just becoming like a 6/4 pretty instantly, especially in like Control, Dragon, late game decks. I think this card's pretty good. I'm gonna give it like a 4 for now. Alright, come on. We're hoping to pull some more legends here. I need my dust. We're struggling to open packs in the client. Okay. So we're gonna try to move a little faster because it's struggling now. We've already seen all these cards. I'm talking about Mire Keeper we talked about. Almost there, guys. Okay, this is a pretty good pack. Primal Fusion, yeah, we talked about it. Corrupted Healbot, we talked about. Thistle Tea. Draw a card, add 2 copies of it to your hand. 6 mana. It's just too expensive. Twilight Summoner, Death Rattle. Summon a 5/5 Baseless Destroyer. If it gets silenced, that's so ass. Because you spent 4 mana and got a 1/1 out of it, and that's it. So I'm going to say this card's probably like a 2.5 or a 3. Battlecry, summon a random 3-cost minion, 6 mana for 5/5. This is strong. I'll give this card probably like a 4.4. I think this will be played for a while in the meta. That's garbage. Talked about it. Talked about it. I think this might actually be too much. 5 mana for 3/4. We talked about Servant of Yogg Sauron 2. Alright, we're getting there. Stormcrack we talked about on the Hunt. We talked about these guys for sure. We didn't talk about him. Here's come 2/2, 6 mana for 7/6. there are things I'd rather spend 6 mana on. I'll give that card like a 3.5. I think it's one of the lower end Cthulhu cards, although it does give it 2/2. Talked about. 2 mana for 1/4 taunt. Give your Cthulhu taunt wherever it is. This card could be pretty good. Maybe like a 3.5 or a 4 for Cthulhu decks. Maybe like a 4. I think this is playable in Cthulhu. Adult Grizzly. After you summon a minion, give it 1/1. I don't like this card. 3 mana for 2/2. Doesn't pass the vanilla stats. And this ability is not that great. It has to live for it to occur. So, meh. Give that bitch like a 1.5. And we're down to our last pack of our Old Gods draw. We only got one fucking legendary. And we got a bunch of repeats. I wasn't really happy with this set of packs, but oh well. Okay, here it is. Eternal Sentinel. 2 mana, 3/2, Battle Cry. Unlock your unloaded mana crystals. This card, so it's a 2 mana. It's a 2-drop that you wouldn't play as a 2-drop, which is shit. So this card's probably shit. I'll give it like a, you know, I guess it could be used late game. I don't think it fits into Evolve decks. I'll give it like a 3.5. I don't see it being that playable. So that is my pack opening. Thank you guys so much for joining me for it. If you want to see a review, or if you want to see, if you want to see more packs, I spent, the 3,800 gold I had, but you guys want to see more packs or whatever, more review, just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to slap that like button right now, and stay tuned to this YouTube channel for more content in the future. Until next time.